Welcome, everybody, to the Early Edge in 5-ish. Happy Friday. Let's get right to it. Let's get to our analysts today. We've got a full complement, and we got somebody added in here, and I know he's a regular on Friday, but I'm not a regular on a Friday. So to me, this is new. Let me introduce him first. Zack Cimini. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, wow. Thanks for the shout out there. Yeah, I know it's EC and Spector every day, but Fridays, Larry and I occasionally jump on. So I'm glad to be part of the show, guys.
All right. Jason Spector is back with us. Specty, Nick Jonas, how are we doing today?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. It's a good day. Another play-in. I can't wait to see the playoffs finally all the way set so we can get on to figure out who's going to win that championship.
EC, so I'm curious because I know you've kind of been boycotting the NBA until the actual playoffs start. Has it started yet, or do we have to wait tonight out?
Well, no, we're going to start it tonight, Counselor, but I saw a play that I really liked, and I wanted to pass on it, but I just couldn't, so we're going to talk about it later on.
All right. Well, I think we should get started. In fact, EC, I don't want to keep everybody waiting. And by the way, definitely, listen, this is a shorter show. You're going to want to watch the whole show. And for the record, you're going to want to watch all of the early wedge. A couple complaints earlier today about not hitting Aaron Rye first-round leader. But if you watched the entire show, you would have seen it on the board at the end of the show. All of these shows, Early Edge in 5, Early Edge in general, watch it to the end. And I say that now because we might have a special guest joining us in a few minutes. But EC, you're my special guest right now. Let's hear your picks.
Well, in honor of you, Sia, I'm actually going to throw in a pick after I'm done with my first three that I would recommend that's not going to be on the recap screen, just for that approach. So let's start in the NBA. Let's go Bam Adebayo over 12.5 assists plus rebounds. Now, you guys know that I was boycotting the NBA for a few weeks now, but this play was too good. Adebayo came out yesterday and said, quote, hopefully I can have a triple-double because by that time, everybody will be making shots, end quote. He's averaging 9.2 rebounds, 3.2 assists against on the season. He has 11 of these combined, 18 and 11 against the Bulls. The reason I think he's going over tonight, the Bulls are known for loading up the paint, and they give up the second most three-point attempts per game, a little over 37 a game. They're gonna focus on getting the ball into Adebayo. The Heat are. He's gonna kick it out to the three-point shooters, and I think Miami will be on tonight. I think he gets eight rebounds at the minimum. All we need is 5 assists to cash this, and I'm feeling really good about it. Okay, then we've got a couple of chalky plays in baseball. Sean Murphy, who's the cleanup hitter for the Braves, over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs at minus 140. He's 2 for 2 against Royals starter Brady Singer with a double. He's hitting cleanup tonight, as I said, which is great, but the wind is blowing out to left at Kauffman Stadium at 14 miles an hour tonight, and he's hit this in 5 of his 8 starts. I feel like we're going to get at least an RBI and a base hit tonight to cover this. And then another one, really a lot of juice, Andres Jimenez, over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs at minus 155 for the Guardians' second baseman. He has hits in 10 of 12 games. He scored a run in 10 of 12 games. He leads the league in runs scored with 14, and 6 of his 12 starts have been multi-hit games. I don't like usually laying the juice, but you guys know how I feel about parlays. If you want to throw these in parlays, I'm good with it. Also, another thing to throw in parlays, the Colorado Avalanche tonight. They're in AB's neck of the woods in Nashville. They need to win tonight to clinch the division title and home ice. It'd be the second seed in the Western Conference. They're minus 225 on the money line. Wouldn't play that outright, but would throw that in a parlay if you need something.
Wow, EC recommending a parlay. That is something I did not think I would hear today. No, of course, I thought I was going to hear it today. All right, thanks for getting all this paid. Listen, I'm not criticizing you. I think it's a great play. I think it's a great call if you can fit it into a money line parlay, maybe on the baseball side. We had a lot of picks earlier this morning, so maybe you want to fit that in with something like, listen, my play, which was earlier, was that Tampa Rays first 5, but maybe you pick a different baseball game because that one's just going to win outright. You don't need to parlay it with anything. All right, Jason Spector, let's go to you next because we talked a little NBA. I think we're going to talk a little bit more NBA with your pick.
Yeah, we're going to go over and do Rudy Gobert over 12.5 rebounds at -133 in the 2 games where he played over 25 minutes, over 24 to be exact. He had 15 rebounds in 25 minutes and 16 in 34 against OKC. OKC give up 16.27 rebounds a game to centers. That's third most in the league throughout the season. We talked about Jonas Valanciunas just a couple days ago on how OKC plays a little bit faster and they don't have a center, a big center, traditional center. And so either they were going to have very little rebounds because they would counter and not have play small ball as well, or they would have a ton of rebounds. Valanciunas had 18 in that game. We're going to roll with the same kind of idea. Gobert being that traditional center, getting that idea that he should have more rebounds in this game. So we're going to go over 12.5. Add in one last thing. You know, he just got suspended. He's rested. He's got a reason to really play well tonight.
That's actually a really good point. And there's certainly a chip on his shoulder from what occurred just a few nights back. So, I mean, certainly incentivized to really show out and really be aggressive on the court this time, as opposed to off the court. By the way, speaking of aggressive, EC, a lot of people thinking you're not getting second dates because you're talking too many parlays and too many bets on your first date. Can you please confirm or deny?
Yeah, I have a no sports betting talk rule on first dates and generally second dates as well. It's too early to give out parlays in the dating game. Let me just say that.
Yeah. Let's hold off at least until maybe date 4 or 5. Keep us updated.
If I get that far, which is rare.
That's fair enough. And by the way, the chat has been really popping. Do us a favor and hit the like button while you're here. Absolutely. The chat is just so amazing every single day, including on Early Edge in 5. Okay, Zach, let's get to you. You've got a baseball play, it looks like. I want to hear about it.
Yes, I do. Before I get into that, I might play the rebound prop on Rudy Gobert and the center from Miami, Bam Adebayo, because you don't hear rebounding props too often. So that sounds like a good parlay to me right there. But I'm going to play Bo Bichette over 1.5 total bases for the Toronto Blue Jays. Look at the Tampa Bay Rays. There's a lot of pressure on them today to break the record for the best start in Major League Baseball history. I think that's going to have an effect, especially from a pitching standpoint. You look at Bichette, he ranks 28th in Major League Baseball. I know the season is young, for batting average, and he had great success against the Tampa Bay Rays last year in the final 2 series. He went only 1 game without a hit. He totaled 14 total hits. So I look for him to have a good game today. I'm going to play 1.5 over total bases -110.
Yeah, that's a really intriguing matchup to me with Rasmussen versus Jose Berrios. I definitely think that's a good play. And I definitely think Berrios is likely to get roughed up as well. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Speaking of waiting and seeing, ladies and gentlemen that are watching, you would think the show is kind of over. We bring up the recap screen and we kind of go from there. But man, I could have sworn that AB told me that we were going to have a 4th guest today, but I don't see him anywhere. Do you?
Well. This is Early Edge in 5. I would love to sit around here and make fun of EC, but we got to get right to it. 3 plays from tonight. PFL 3, the hardest format in all of MMA to win $1 million. 4 fights in 7 months. Play number 1, Sada Busi. He's a reigning, defending, undisputed welterweight champion from just a season ago. His confidence is sky high. He's -230, but he's so much better than his opponent. I'm going to play that straight. It goes against everything we teach you. But tonight, exception to the rule. Play number 2, Magomed Karamov Ben Egli. This is -1100 straight. Can't play that. But I love the under 2.5 -145. Remember, the PFL is all about bonus points. The faster you finish, the more you get. Then play number 3, a little EC special. Why? Because I can and he can't. 3 ways. Dennis Goldsaw, heavyweight, push his fight back a week. Love him tonight. Clay Collard, he's an absolute beast. Been around for years, -247 straight, but he's our second leg. Then Magomed Umalatov. Now he faces Delano Taylor. Delano made it to the playoffs. This will not be an easy fight, but Umalatov is just better. Straight, he's -270. Can't do that. Put all 3 together, little +121. EC, that was for you. Sia, counselor, please continue.
Wow. EC, any response to the idea that he can do money line parlays, but you not so much?
Counselor, remember the old phrase, imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. I've noticed that I have not given out an official parlay in a while, but Coach has been giving out many of them. So thank you, Coach. I'm flattered.
Wow. That was actually a perfect response. And it's a perfect time to bring up the recap screen. So let's see it right now. We've got EC with Bam Adebayo over 12.5 rebounds and assists at -115. Sean Murphy over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs at -140. Jimenez over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs at -155. Zack Attack has Bo Bichette over 1.5 total bases. The Coach, he's got Sadabu Sai -230. Karamov Egley under 2.5 rounds at -145. And then he's got a moneyline parlay, EC special style. Goltsov, Collard, Umalatov, moneyline parlay pays +121. And then finally, our data scientist, Jason Spector, Rudy Gobert over 12.5 rebounds. That's another center for you. Adebayo, Rudy Gobert. But this one is just Rudy Gobert over 12.5 rebounds at -133. Well, gentlemen, I think that's all the damage we can do today, which means we only got one thing left to do. I got to gear up because Coach might be watching. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window for Zack Attack, for Specty, for EC, and for Alan Bell on the 1s and 2s, 9s and 10s, 19s and 20s. This is the Early Edge in 5, and we rest our case.